joining. I won't waste a minute. I want to right away start with asking you questions and addressing them. That would be amazing. Whoever's here. First of all, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to meet like this once a month for now. Maybe we'll do it often. Welcome. Who wants to ask your questions first? You have to unmute yourself and just go ahead. Okay. Hi, my dear. I don't hear you yet. Bracha.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Can I ask a question now?
Oh, for sure. Would love
Oh,
to
yeah.
hear.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's so nice.
Yes. Thank you for inviting people, and hopefully it's going to be interesting for
Yes.
others as well.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to know that if there is something in our life that we really want, how much do we have to surrender to the universe and God and trust in divine timing? And how much should we be more like aggressive and go-getter after what we want and really work towards it? Because they say like everything in a way is decided before we're born. Our soul chooses things. So when do we say like we did enough and we surrender?
Beautiful question. If I could ask everyone to mute yourself until you are actually voicing your questions. Thank you so much. So, just to rephrase, if you truly want something, how much of you should go towards getting it aggressively, and how much of you should just like surrender and allow the natural flow, life flow to take you, God's providence or God's will to take you there. So it's a question that everyone pretty much debate. If I could ask whoever is with the green phone, if you could mute yourself, please, that would be amazing. Not Olga. Olga, you were muted before, but I don't know. There is a number here, and this one is not muted.
I just don't know how.
All right. If you could mute yourself, please, both. Yeah, Olga and somebody else.
I don't know how to mute it. Because when I see your face, it's unmuted. When I just wear the button tap to speak, it's muted. That's why I don't know how to mute myself.
You were muted before. You press the mic and it's gonna get you muted. Yes, amazing. All right. So I think it's important to understand that there are different parts of us inside. There's more spiritual part and there's more material part. The material part wants to get grounded, wants to get things done, and it's operating on deficit. It's basically always feels the lack and always feels like it needs to get things done and there's no enough time and there's some pressure and fear and it's in that bubble. Firstly, identify that there's two voices. One is completely in touch with God and knows that it's in good hands and it knows that everything is taken care of and things will unfold as they should. And the more you trust and the more you think and connect yourself to God Almighty, the more you will feel that voice. But then there is a huge important part of you, which is a human part of you, that talks different language, so to speak. And that language is get things done. There's other people, there is a competition, there is worries, there is fears, there is this and that, and there is concerns, and there is, like uncertainty. There's maybe even doubts that you will ever get it if you don't put effort into it. And like that is important to validate as well, not to neglect it, not to avoid it, not to say, oh, I'm spiritual. And just like look at those two voices coming at you and just say to it, I hear you both. I hear you both. And I validate you both. I'm not going to run away from one into another, escape, so to speak, and be more spiritual and more godlike and more in love with life, and neglect the voice that constantly speaks the worries and concerns, etc. So it's important to validate and give room and let it be heard by you, like let it be understood by you and validated by you. It's very, very important to do that, to calm it down, right? But the question is, who is going to lead your life and your pursuits and your wants and wishes? So your job is to address both and say, I need the pusher, I need as a helper, but primarily, firstly, I want to tune in to that voice that is connected at all time with God. For sure, constantly feels God's presence. I want to connect to that first. That's why in all the practices, you meditate before you do anything. You meditate in the morning, you pray in the morning, right? Why? Because you want to get that connection. You don't stay in meditation all day. You connect, you center, and then you go. So it has to be combined. We pursue, we do things, but primarily, firstly, we meditate. We collect ourselves. We remind ourselves that everything is in God's hands. God knows when to bring stuff to me. I'm so grateful that I'm connected to Him, and I'm even before I receive, I'm already expressing my gratitude for whatever I'm going to receive, whatever I want, because my trust is so strong from that place that I'm connecting now, that I know for sure He hears me, and I know for sure He knows that I want this and that so much. And I'm already ready to say thank you for that. And like stay connected to that vibration. How would you say thank you when you will receive it? Right? Let's say you need, I don't know, mortgage approval, for instance, and you're like worried, and you say to yourself, what feeling is that on a vibrational level when I get approved and approved with the details that I mostly wanted? What feeling is that? Try to like milk that feeling, try to hold on to that feeling, right? And thank God for that, from that place, from that future place. And when you gather yourself, your doings and your proactiveness will be coming from a different place. It's not from the place of worry, it's not from the place of uncertainty, it's not from the place of doubts. It's from that place where you understand that you're connected, and you understand that you're constantly looked after, and you're constantly watched and loved. In a lot of your needs and wants are already been heard and taken into consideration. So it's important to let that be, let that space where you're constantly connected to God kind of surround you and start pursuing. Just for instance, with my class today, right? I say, whatever will happen, whatever questions will come my way, God Almighty, this is all for you. This is your honor. This is your success. This is your healing. This is I don't own any of that, especially that it's for free, right? So you kind of, whatever action you are about to pursue, whether it's dating or job opportunity, just say, God, whatever I truly want, even that I want on a physical level, I will honor it and I will give it over to you. This is your accomplishment. Even though I'm doing it here and I'm pursuing a relationship or marriage or livelihood or friendship or whatever it is. And then your energy is more relaxed when you take those steps in physical realm and you start doing one step at a time. You're more calm, you're more collected, and it's not pretend. It's like as if you're filled in with true energy. You're not empty, you're not running on an empty tank, so to speak. I want you to ask back and forth so we will have kind of mutual connection. So far, does it make sense?
Yes, thank you so much. That was so
In
beautiful.
application, like,
Yes.
yeah, you think you'll be able to apply it in such a way?
It's just, how
Okay,
do we tune into the
thank you.
voices?
I could only tell from how I feel if the voice is too fast and too kind of worried and energetically is like kind of out of breath, right? This is a voice of a mind, busy mind. But if it's quiet and it just says one thing, this is a through connection. When you do lengthy meditation or constant meditation, you definitely build connection with God. It's a relationship that you need to build. And that voice is so quiet, calm, and it only says once. It doesn't like repeats itself, right? It's not running from anything or towards anything. It's just like calm and settle. And I'm not saying this is God talking to you. It could be your malach. It could be your higher being, which is truly connected to God, right? It's really important to understand there is constantly energy around us that is supervising us with love. And like to build that connection, it's extremely important. I have um, I have someone who is listening to me constantly, and it got my back, so to speak. I'm in good hands. Like really repeat that self to yourself constantly, and that voice you will be able to detect eventually. You will know the difference when it's a busy mind talking and like constantly rushing you into just like accomplish stuff, right? And move towards stuff, or it's just a flow. It's a flow. Things will unfold and you know you're constantly moving, even though the mind will say, oh, you're not doing anything, you need to do something. Yeah, you're constantly in that flow, you're constantly being directed.
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, my dear. All right, I want to hear other questions, please. You just have to unmute yourself and then I'll be able to hear you. Anyone?
Hi. Can I say something? Yeah, because
Yes,
I
please.
just my question was, when I'm on a page when there's just a circle and it says I'm muted, but when I want to see your face, then all of a sudden I become unmuted. But anyway, I can ask my
It's
question. Actually,
okay.
it's my question is I'm stepping on the same, uh, how to say it, mm, the fork. Should I say fork in
Yes,
English? The same
gravel.
fork, and yeah, and that's making the same mistake. And now I really like see it, but still, like a people who drinking and like they cannot change their behavior. They just follow the same pattern, go straight same road. Uh, that's why I'm get so so sick now, and partly I was looking for a day off, but not a day off I have to spend in the bed. My question is how to turn myself. You're saying a meditation, yes, and I try to kind of pray in the morning. It calms me down, but then by driving to work and being at work, I'm just kind of start to roll again, and all the worries, all the things that I have to do, should do, and this and that, and I don't know how to center myself again and just be present and not to worry and stay calm. Don't use the energy. Don't uh, how to say it in English, the energy I'm just pouring out, like disconnecting myself with myself, just wasted my energy. And yeah, you're
Mhm.
saying it's just
So
like
you
to,
mentioned in the beginning that to drain yourself, right? You shouldn't
yes, yes,
drain yourself.
yes, 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 drain, yeah.
Um, you mentioned in the beginning, you said that you don't like when you repeat the same mistake, right? Or people repeat the same mistake.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Could you give an example?
For example, I'm overeating. It's like that's why I said like people who
Okay.
drinking, like I'm overeating. It's just I'm not so hungry in the morning, but the daytime I need to eat at work. I eat, but it doesn't give me any like in the food. I feel like when I come home, then I eat all at night, but because more relaxed and I was able to eat what I want at that moment. Sometimes I pack what I need to eat like
Mhm.
during the daytime, but it's not. Maybe it's not that I want at the moment. You know, when I come home, I relax, and then I start
Right.
to eat a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So number one, thank you so much for this specific example. It would help us navigate kind of the whole question. Number one, you have to accept yourself overweight. And you just close your eyes. You could even do it now. And you just say, there's different me out there. And obviously, there is one version of me that I don't accept and I don't like. I don't like me version of being angry or too fat or the one that is becoming fat, eats too much, doesn't have self discipline. I dislike that version of me and I push it away. And that version of you has something important for you. It's like it makes you complete, right? In this world, there's equal in every single being, equal amount of good energies and bad energies. And if we only accept good energies, right, and we don't accept, so to speak, bad energies in us, then we are functioning on half me and we communicate to the world on half world. It's this world defines good and bad, but really it's a complete you. There is no good and bad. It's just the world decided. It's like you cut an apple and you say, this part of apple is good, and this part of apple, I'm going to call it bad. I'm going to give it a name. But really, it's a complete apple. And somewhere on a higher realms, it's just a complete your energy of Olga complete. And because this world decided to call you bad, you kind of have programs to run away from it, to pursue only good, right? We have those programs in us to only achieve good, the one that has discipline, the one that knows how to control herself, the one that is slim and beautiful, the one that is always stays fit, and the one that blah, 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 right? So I want you to go out, jump out from this good and bad game and just say, actually, I want to accept all of me. The absolute impossibly big size of me, and another extreme, absolutely fit and healthy and good looking me, and everything in between. I just give my all love to all those variations and versions of me. And just like relax in accepting it, right? With all your attention, you just say, It could be any variation. I don't care how much the world decided to divide me and dissect me. All of it is me. And I love it all. And you just need to embrace all those parts completely. And there will be mind fighting. If you don't push it away, you will become fat and you will become obese and you will become ugly and you'll never want to move. And no, you really have to fight. Just let that mind talk. Let it talk. Just don't try to stop it. And say, right now, I'm loving all of me. The one that lost weight, the one that gained weight, the one that will gain weight, the one that is about to gain weight. Because if you don't accept it, there is some disconnection going on. And out of that disconnection, you kind of eat compulsively. And you, because you're running away from that big section of you, the world and your psyche and your soul brings you back there. It's like you see food, that food will bring you to that you need to accept and love, right? And it's not about becoming fat and like neglecting yourself. It's about energetically accepting all of you, the one that gets angry, the one that gets needy, the one that gets undisciplined, etc., etc. So far, does that make sense?
Yes, it is. It's just no, it's not about the weight. It's just more about happiness. I'm looking for the happiness to indulge in the food, just to find the happiness. I cannot find,
Right.
you know.
So,
Yes,
in
but
regards to happiness, I just want to say, uh-huh.
yeah, it's
Yes, my
just
dear,
and
please
you're saying,
finish.
it's always the like the dark side and the light side in us put it together. Just it's always gonna be there, yeah. Just more we accept it, and more it's easy. It will not maybe not going away, but it's gonna be better, like lighter for us. Or is it going away, or or it's always like that gonna be
Uh,
in us, like.
when, when,
uh,
when we raise our consciousness a little bit, and there is a part of you that sees you and sees the world as complete, not defined as good and bad. Good and bad, it's a certain game in this world. Just like a man and woman, it's a certain game that we play here. But a little bit higher consciousness than human being, it's all a joke, really. It's a nice game, good and bad. It's a nice game, man and woman. They all have different consciousness and they live different, stories, and they have different mind and they have different habits, and it's just a nice game, right? But in order for us to actually mature through it and over kind of upgrade ourselves through it, we have to know that there is a part of me, even in my human body, could surpass a little bit of that reality. And it's like when you look from a third floor down, you see much bigger picture. It's not like you're denying from the first floor and you only see, I don't know, one chair or a table, and you don't see the view as you would see from the third or fifth or 15th floor, right? It's just a different view, different capacity. You could see and you could take in a better kind of completion of this whole story. You could look from like a very narrow place, which usually practical people like to say, look from the real place, from grounded place. There is a good and bad, and like there is a constant conflict between good and bad, right? But when you look from that very grounded place, you cannot solve. You have to live in that conflict. This conflict is going to overwhelm you from one place to another. But when you rise yourself a little bit, just a drop, you're still looking at the same place, but your capacity to take it is much wider and greater. So you look at good and bad, it has room in this world. People like to play this like honesty, those games, and being self-righteous and proving points. There's certain games people like to play, right? But your job is to rise your consciousness and say, it's really a little bit above, it's all one. There is no good and bad. It's all one. It's really the root of the story. It's like it was the first humans, right, in the garden, in the Gan Eden, that they were basically exposed to the snake, right? And I bring the story a lot in our private meetings, etc., where there was a God, there was a presence of God, very vivid, but at the same time, there was this opposite side, right? That had some voice and was talking to Adam and Chava and was convincing them. Like, how do you take this? How could you live in both realities where there is absolute God? It says that God was felt and seen, right? In Gan Eden before they were kicked out in the Garden of Eden. And at the same time, there was this snake. So what do you do? And Chava, with her genius mind, right, there's a lot of layers to that explanation. Of course, there's just like a basic story that she didn't listen to God and she listened to the bad side and she got convinced and she convinced her husband and they both ate from the illegal tree and they took that fruit in, the understanding of good and bad, and they were kicked out. That's a basic story. But then there's like layers until there is a deeper, 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 deeper level of understanding where there was no mistake at all. It was all plan of God. God wanted to unfold in such a way. In fact, Chava was very wise. She understood one explanation I'll give you here. She understood that if she will just pass within the cycle of 7 days, like the seventh day was coming in and was about to conclude the cycle of a week and would lock it in for a lifetime. So she had 3 hours at the end of the sixth day to make a decision. How does she want the whole good and bad relationship to a human being finish? So she said, if I'll leave it outside of me, if it's going to be bad that I need to run away from and kind of not interact with, right? I will never change it. It's a substance or it's an energy that is outside of me. And since it's outside of me, it has different department of rules and regulations, and I cannot change it. But by eating from the fruit, I will make it into mine. Like it says that the snake died and the spirit went into Chava, so to speak, the knowledge of good and bad, right? And right now she was able to transform. She was able to change bad into good. So the same story is really happens to all of us. You look at something bad, you rise your consciousness where it's all one. It's just fully you. You have to accept yourself as being, I don't know, jealous and forgiving, right? Or fat and slim. You just have to look at it and say, it's all one. I accept myself in this version and that version. And once you accept it and love it, then it becomes yours. You take it in, you accept it, you embrace it, it becomes yours. And then you're able to transform it. But when it's outside of you, it's always knocking on your door because it's part of your energy. It's like, come on, I need to come in. I'm part of you. And you're like, no, fat part of me has to stay outside. A not successful part of me has to stay outside. A jealous part of me has to stay outside. And it's constant war. It's coming towards you because it's part of you and it wants to come back home and you push it away. So Chava taught us this lesson that we need to take it in, bring it in. I hope this was clear for those that are listening and for Olga as well. Please let me know.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Anyone else? You could ask questions in regards to what I already mentioned. It doesn't have to be a brand new question, or it could be a brand new question as well. I welcome all your questions, my dears.
Hi, I just had another
Yes,
question.
sure.
I'm just curious, do two hearts feel the same way if you feel something towards someone else? Do they reflect that back to you? Do they also feel that way? How does that work?
It's a very good question. If your place is true and honest, is not motivated by mind, it's also important to know the difference. If it's just calm and it's settled and you're fine feeling the way you feel, right? Let's say you like to spend time with a friend and your heart is open. You really enjoy spending time with that specific friend. Really, the question that you're asking should not be coming as a question, because you're enjoying your experience, loving the interaction, loving, yeah, really enjoying that process for yourself. It's something new, even with a different friend. Like if you experienced love and connection and closeness with one person, but every time with a different person is a different feeling. So that's your pure experience that you enjoy while it's there. And truly and honestly, we're entering the era. Yeah, I would bring this example between a man and a woman. And I bring that a lot in the private sessions, kind of unfold and prepare a person to flow in that understanding with me. She, let's say it's a her, right? She has to be convinced that her joy is enough. I know in old setting, it's all about, will he accept me? Will she accept me? Will she love me the same way I love her? Will that be a joint, a kind of interaction? Like there is kind of that worry of unsettled conviction. Even in a deep marriage, people are still questioning with their mind. Does he love me the same way? I'm already like 30 years into a marriage. Does he still love me the same way? Is he changing his mind? Or he could think about her, oh, I'm getting old and ugly and bold and blah blah blah. Does she still love me? Like that question always comes in. But from the new consciousness, it's really enough for you to love. It's such a blessing to be able to love someone. And that should be it. And when you're complete in your own experience, when you truly love what you are going through, and you really don't care whether that person loves you or not, or likes being near you, you just understand and convinced, I am the most important person in this setup for myself, not between us two, but for myself, my feeling and my experience is the most precious. I know for the old version of us, it's a selfish kind of approach. But for the new version of us, this is a complete type of a person that really holds the space, knowing what makes me truly happy, what I enjoy, what I go through right now, and honor it. It's really an honorable process to like or love someone. That's it. And if it goes away, that means I'm done with that person. And it's going to be somebody else where I will continue or develop my love and like somewhere else. Right?
Right. Well, just to add on this, also authenticity is what makes you magnetic, right? Like when you're in your
Yes,
authentic self.
you're very special in your own way. You're very unique. And the way you like, and the way you love, and the way you express, and the way you show up, it's very unique, but primarily for yourself. If you decide to be special for yourself, you will for sure be special for somebody else. Does that make sense? If you're not
Yeah.
special for yourself, if you're only special if somebody decided to make you special, and you wait for that somebody to make you special, and you kind of designate that decision for someone else, and you honor them with that decision, then you're not special for yourself, then they cannot really make you feel special.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a more inner work. I'm
Right.
so happy I have this experience. I love what I love, and I love what's unfolding today. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow the same way, but today I'm liking it. And that is really attractive to a partner. When you like what you go through and you honor it and you're present for it and you make yourself special for going through it and you make it better for yourself, then you are a really attractive partner, right? Does that make sense? Do you have some
Yeah.
conflict with that?
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for your question. Anyone else? I see the hearts and I'm so grateful. If you have some thoughts or questions, please ask.
I think someone wrote something in the chat.
Let me try to read. Um, I don't see it. Can you see it, Braha? Could you read it?
Yeah. Yeah. She wrote, I feel that my previous partner and I were and are connected, and he often makes comments online about our relationship. I want to become able to hold space for him because I didn't do it before. Should I read
Okay,
it
so
again?
yeah, please.
I feel that my previous partner and I were not connected, and he often makes comments online about our relationship. I want to become able to hold the space for him because I didn't do it before. So they're not in a relationship anymore.
Yes.
But
So firstly, thank you for the question. I think the best you could offer is to be at your full presence for yourself right now, to honor what was there in the past, even if it was like a day ago or a week ago or a month ago. It's old. It's already you outgrew this type of clothes, so to speak. It made you into something, but to get stuck in that past, it's unhealthy. Even with the same partner, it's better to just look ahead and say, I am ready for anything new to unfold for us. But if it will not, to hold the space for the past or what he is living through or what he is um, clinging about, it's not my choice. My choice is looking forward. Whatever is ahead of us, if we could join together, it will be new us starting from today. It will be new you and new him. And for me, this is more of energy that actually will help you understand why are you there for each other today and what is there for you today. But when you're stuck in the past, is really there is no energy there. There is nothing to do there. Okay, I think I answered because there was namaste hands. All right. Anyone else? Please ask your questions. They're so important to me. Yes.
Smile.
Please introduce yourself. Are you asking a question or you just unmuted yourself? Hello? Oh, no question. I just want to address maybe a point that I spoke to someone yesterday. And just interrupt me, please. If there's a question, I'd rather take your question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Um,
Please introduce yourself,
my
my
name
dear.
is Lana. I'm from currently in LA.
Okay.
I didn't hear the first part of the class, so I'm not sure if it is related to this class, so we can ask any kind of questions.
Any kind of question. Yes, please.
Okay, so I have a 31 years old daughter, and she's very independent. She is single. All her friends from college, from school, from everywhere are married. And she is very happy being single. She's very successful. And she doesn't want me to even mention anything about dating or marriage. It's a very, very touchy subject. And I mean, I'm happy to avoid it, but on the other hand, sometimes I think as a mother, maybe, I should speak to her about that, but just don't know how to approach it. She, in the past, she accepted a couple of suggestions from me to meet, but she didn't like anybody. And she doesn't think that I know what she wants.
Okay. And if she would be open to hear your opinion, what would you tell her?
I just want to actually not even telling her what to do, but just hearing her out. I just want to know what she feels, what she thinks, just to hear her, because I'm sure, she maybe has some insecurities, some worries, some thoughts, just, have a normal conversation, but she doesn't want me to speak to her about this.
Okay. Do you know why she doesn't want to speak to you about that?
I really don't. I really don't.
Okay. Does she
I think it's her
live with you?
personal. Huh?
Does she live together with you?
No, she's, as I said, she's very independent. She doesn't want anybody's help. She lives in a, she doesn't, she lives in San Francisco on her own, and
I see.
she refuses any help. She broke
Right.
her ankle last year, and I offered her to come and help, and she said, "No, please, I'll be okay." And she's okay, Baruch Hashem.
Beautiful.
But, yeah.
When you look at her without wanting to open her up or wanting to connect or wanting to hear her out, how do you see her? You see her settle in whatever world she's in, and you see her accomplished, or you see her kind of lost and you want her to be more accomplished. Like from your true place, when you think about her, what comes up?
I think that she's very accomplished, but I think she has some fears about, something that is uncomfortable somewhere where she might get hurt, or somewhere where she might not be as confident as she is, because she projects herself as a very smart and confident, independent woman. So she doesn't want to go into the area where she doesn't feel that way. That's how I feel about
That's
her.
how you see her. You
Right.
see her like that,
Right.
right? So, and like when you look at this whole area about marriage and relationship and being a wife and a mother and all that, like when you look at that whole section and her, do you feel she's missing because of her fears? She doesn't let herself, like you feel the conflict there?
I I think I think that she, you know, she's very comfortable. She is, and I don't think, I just don't think that she's prioritizing her area's life correctly.
Okay, that's how you view her. That's important
Right.
to voice it. And I could only suggest, obviously, I'm not going to, and you don't have to take the suggestion. It's important how parents look with their inner look, not what they say and what they're supposed to say from their perspective, being a parent and from the role of a parent and all that kind of like more tribal voice, right? But just look from I'm a mother, and once upon a time, she was my daughter. Right now, energetically, she's just another woman that came through me. You're not a mother anymore. I like to say that you graduate from your motherhood when your kids turn 22, 20. You're not a mother anymore. There's no like you energetically should not take a place of a mother. That's important to remember. But it's hard for a lot of mothers to let go of that like nurturing energy and like supervising energy and advice energy and leading energy and suggestion and blah blah blah. Honorably, she should feel like she graduated from mother daughter, and you are just unbelievably close person to her that she could open up and feel connected and feel close to, but not mother daughter anymore, right? That's number one.
Mhm.
Number two, it's important to develop and say this is the most I could give her, is to see her complete, to just look at her in your heart and just say she's just so complete. It's hard for me as a mother or as an older woman in her life to see this completion, because in my old ways, you have to be in a partnership and with family duties and responsibilities and with the motherhood developing through you. But we're living in a very fast moving times. All those values are changing so rapidly, so quickly. And right now, really honestly, we are done surviving all this like mothering and giving birth and becoming a mother and becoming mature through it. It's a survival mode of humanity, right? We're not done yet, but we're basically finishing. Right now, the relationship between man and woman are entering the era where there is join conscious elevation. We have to elevate our maturity through each other. No more, we must have kids and a lot of kids, and we have to raise them, and we have to make sure that they are good humans, human beings, and good citizens, and good civilians, etc. This is moving out, and young generation is looking for a partner that we could come together into a new kind of maturity development, not out of survival anymore, out of that joy of becoming something new, right? It's a different movement. And you say, yes, I'm from a little bit old generation. She is entering a newer generation. But where she is holding now and how she is unfolding herself with the world, she is actually okay. I see her complete. I don't want to hold the observation of her in a way that there's something off about her. Maybe she has some fears, maybe she has some traumas, maybe she needs to work on something. Like if you hold that observant mind about her, it will stick to her. And your job is to hold that space, something that I'm not understanding how it evolves, but she's in a good space. And you really open up to that, knowing that she's in a good space. She's led into a new world of understanding about relationship, marriage, children, motherhood, etc. Something beyond my brain. Maybe in 25 years, looking back, I will be able to say, aha, now I know where she was going with it, or the world was going. But definitely she is in a flow. My daughter is in a flow, in a God's flow. It's coming to something good, something more important than those old values. And just like secure it like that, see it like that. That's the biggest kindness mothers could give their kids right now. And that could be done without words of interaction. It's just how you hold that space for her. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. The only thing that I'm worried about, one time I met a woman. She was in her 50s and she was never married. And somebody asked her, what does your mother say? And she said, my mom never, ever told me anything about that. And it kind of like struck me. I said, maybe I should be pushing her. Maybe I should be doing something, because if parents look at the daughter and say, you know, she's fine, and never ask her about anything, maybe the daughter will never, you know, will think, oh, my mom is okay with me not being married, not looking. So that's
Yeah.
why I was saying, you know, maybe I should somehow get involved.
So that voice from outside will come either in a direct person, or just you will assume there is such a common kind of conclusion. Oh, a mother should put effort. The effort you could put is holding her complete development and that she's in a good place. That's the effort I think we should always put in. Effort with love and seeing her in a good place and walking her path and knowing where she's going and being led and being directed. And that voice that you pick up somewhere, just say, thanks for sharing. None of us are the same. We will never, I hear that a lot with parents that worry for their kids in school, or my kid was, not doing well, and then the parents let them be, and then they didn't have graduation and la 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 and all that. Just say every single child that goes through a school system is absolutely unique. And we do not share paths. It looks to us that we kind of all the same, and there's another 50-year-old that was never married, and another 45-year-old that was never married, and the mother never brought it into their attention and never made it into their focus. And that's not your case. Don't buy into it. Don't get sold by it, right? Just say, my daughter and me and her and me on my own, we're living our own unique path. It cannot be compared. It cannot be averaged by someone. That has nothing to do with just other people. Return it back to them. There was something much deeper than just the purely those sentences that you heard, that the mom that never brought it to her attention, and the 50-year-old, because of her mom, never got married, right? It's much deeper than that. But the way you took it might affect you and your daughter, because you kind of bought that idea and you believe that idea. You only want to believe into ideas that will help you, not those that will bring you down and will not help you. And those ideas that not going to help you or your daughter, just return them back. They're not yours. Thanks for sharing. Just energetically say thanks for sharing and return it back. Does that make sense?
Right. Yep. It's it's kind of work. I have to work on
It is
myself.
work, a work
Yes.
of centering yourself, being focused, knowing what falls into your basket and what doesn't. what will serve you and your daughter and your tribal development, and what will not. You're kind of very selective what you take in and you run off, right? You kind of use in your communication with your daughter. Just say to yourself, why would I want to bring it in into our relationship, this like story that I don't even know that is the truth. I don't know the details. I don't know what happened there,
That's
right?
true. That's true. Yep. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you for being open with your question. I hope it was helpful. All right. Anyone else?
Hi,
We're almost, yes.
hi, Miriam. How are you?
I'm
I,
good.
I I was very late today. I just came from Ontario. I came back home. It's Shira, and
Yes.
I was late to the lesson, but anyway, it's good that I saw it. I want to ask you a question. What kind of prayer you can recommend for the mother to pray for her daughter? Because the situation is when the daughter, because of her guilt feeling, she is very angry with the mother. Okay, and
Mhm.
I'm just trying to find the right words to pray for her. I'm doing from my end. I do whatever I understand. It might help her, and probably it will help in some way because Hashem helps everybody. This is my belief, and I just don't know. Maybe you will recommend something that I still don't know.
So what does your prayer look like? How do you usually
My
pray in your own
my
words?
prayer is to Hashem to help my daughter to come out from Afala Leora, the you know, to be responsible for her own deeds and to change her anger into the like exception. Okay, that everything can happen in this world, and even if she did mistake, I'm not the one who is blaming her. I love her, and I just want Hashem like to show her, maybe to help her, to see. I tell you the truth, I just came back, and you know what, my wish was when I was going there 3 weeks ago, and my wish was, I told to myself, doesn't matter what, I just want to hug her, because it's
Mhm.
complete, mute between us. Okay.
Mhm.
I just told myself, I just want to hug her. Maybe it will help her to understand that I love her. I don't blame her,
Mhm.
and I'm willing to forgive. I just want her to tell it for herself. Forgive me, mama. Okay. But for herself, not for me. Okay. Anyway, I hugged her. This is what I wanted to achieve. I achieved, thanks God. But it
Mhm.
didn't go from this point. Anyway, at least now I can text message her and she can text message me back. Okay. This is what I achieved
Mhm.
right now. Okay.
Okay,
Um,
I'll tell you what comes up,
yeah.
and I'm not sure if it's going to speak to you or
Mm-hmm.
what comes up. She's just projecting something that is going on inside you. Inside you, there is a chunk that feels guilty, and we're not going to say for what. We don't know for what,
Mm-hmm.
but that guilty part is talking through her to you and wants you to communicate to that guilty part inside you and wants to make peace.
Mm-hmm.
It's two voices inside you that she was able to hold it for you. She's
Mm-hmm.
able to hold that one piece of Shira, and she's like, Ma, here is a part of you that feels guilty and it needs your hug and your peace and
Mm-hmm.
your reuniting kind of energies.
Mm-hmm.
You don't accept that part that feels guilty, you push it away. You don't want to associate, you want to run away, like you said, you want God to to take her out from it. This is your words. If you will listen to this recording, you will hear. You want God to heal you from that feeling of guilty towards something.
I have
And
not.
right now, the joke.
I cannot. Okay, maybe I don't know. Nothing came up to me. She's clearly told me a couple years ago what I should feel guilty about, but I didn't feel guilty about it anymore.
I don't think it has to do with her. I think that guilty feeling that you carry inside you is about something much deeper. I think even maybe before she was born. For that's what I'm feeling. It's a really old and really stuck, but you don't want to look there. You want God to solve it and God to heal it. But this is a part of you that you need to look and embrace. Your guilty part, the part that just like pushed away by you and not accepted, and why you're such a nebach, and why you feel like you don't want to associate, and why you feel like you are all glitched up and like not want to be present, and you send it to God, but you don't want to acknowledge that it's also you. This is you. There is a
I
part
don't
in
know.
you.
No, I am acknowledging that I made a lot of mistakes, and acknowledging that, I just learned that guilt feeling didn't help me never. I'm just, I'm getting in. I've gotten in the situation with my daughter. I understand. I take responsibility there for sure. A part of me that, you know, kind of, rejected by her behavior, but. It's hard for me right now to point or talk about it. The only thing I'm always saying, if this is my mistakes that brought me to this situation with my daughter, please forgive me. Let me get cleared from this. This is what I ask for myself.
Right.
But
So I just want you to separate two stories. One
mhm,
story is what played out as your daughter telling you to feel guilty about, and she blamed you, and you kind of walked away from each other, and you didn't associate or communicated or interacted. This is a story that played out. It's like an inner story that was inside you, had to come out and be shown to you into this like people playing different roles. But really, it has to do with what's inside. And I want you to kind of zoom in, right? There's like a story you heard 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 months ago. She said, I said, he said, Billy said that. There's a story. And now this is zoomed out, a lot of details, a lot of who said what. And you kind of zoom in and see those energies inside for real. This is all on the wall. This is not real. That's a projection. We assume what is on the wall is the most real, but really it's not. It's a whole upside down story. What is for sure real is what's going on inside. So
mhm,
you come in and you say, there is somebody showing me the play of my daughter. There is somebody showing me inside a part of me, a role of me. And there's two different us on the wall telling their story. But really, it's all in me. And those two figures and two voices in me cannot make peace. They're conflicting. One, so to speak, against God, and cannot forgive or cannot let go, or feels guilty or feels blamed or feels I don't know, turned down or pushed away. And there's another part as if stretching hands and says, I'm here, we are one, we are united, we could make it work. There's one peaceful part, and there is one definitely not peaceful part in me that is playing on outside this whole story. And you look inside and you say, there's part of me that doesn't want to forgive, wants to stick to the self-righteousness and wants to prove her point, being right and honest and
okay.
fair, and looking at the other part of me saying, you are not honest. You are not being right. You were never fair. You were this and that. You were not right, and I was right. There's an inner conflict, and this conflict has nothing to do with your daughter or you today. It has to do with a deeper conviction that happened long time ago. And you go there and you make that peace back then. And you kind of tune in and say, when did it all started? When part of me, I said, I push you away. I don't like you. You don't belong anymore. I don't want to text you. And I don't want to write to you. And I don't want to call you. I don't even want to associate. There is a part of you push away. Certain identity that you had by birth that you kind of, you push away. Which part is that?
I have no idea, tell you the truth. I know I went through a lot of transformation since my childhood, even since 20 years ago. Today I'm not getting I'm trying to work on anything that, appears in me as a negative, for others, let's say this way.
Yeah. No, for yourself.
I
There is
don't
some
know.
part
I
in
don't
you
know.
that pushes you self against being accepted, against loving yourself, against wanting that other part to shine, to glow, to be present, to be happy. There's this part of you that just like, you're not good enough, you're bad, like deep
No, this is what I
self-criticism,
was thinking. This is what I was thinking about myself till very pretty old age, but not anymore. Like I accepting
You
myself.
know why not anymore? You know why not
Yeah.
anymore?
Why?
Because right now it's out on your daughter. That part came out and now is hanging on your daughter. Right now you're dealing with your daughter, but really it's your part that you finally took out and you're like, okay, let's deal with that part. Right now your daughter is taking the space of that part, but really it's that part. It's still that part. It's that voice that criticized Shira for many years that said, you're not good enough, you always say wrong things, you always do wrong stuff, enough. That voice, you need to say, I hear you, I see you. It has nothing to do with my daughter. My daughter is just holding it in front of me. She makes it easier because right now it's at least not eating me inside, it's outside of me. She makes it easier for me to deal with it, but I still have to deal with it. I'm so grateful for her that she's holding this outside of me, but I'm going to work it out with that voice. That voice was putting me down for many years, repressing me, putting me down, making me feel like I'm second class. I'm not important, right? So
Yeah.
that voice I'm going to apart with. I'm going to say thank you for being here for me. You came with me for so many years. You were my partner for so many years. Now I'm making clear decision to apart from you. I'm letting you go. I'm grateful for your service. You helped me become better. You helped me mature. You helped me develop. But right now you're weighing me down. You're not serving me anymore. I'm thanking you for being there for me, but right now I'm setting you free. And that's the work you will do, and you'll see how it will stop with your daughter. All this la 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 story that is unfolding, that so to speak, you need to solve, it will disappear once you deal with that voice and you decide what to do with that voice, to employ it again or to set it free. Does that
Thank
make
you.
sense?
It makes sense at least to try for me. I
Yes.
hope, it makes sense to try. Why not? Like I'm willing to do anything, in this case, why not?
Yes.
Probably it's still my insecurities and still my second class, like you say, that, that I don't feel it anymore inside of me. But probably it went this direction.
It's on her. It's on
Yeah.
outside. That's why
Yeah.
it's much better That's why we get excited when we get into a partnership, because in a marriage is the same thing. He and her decide to hold the parts of us
Mhm.
on each other equally, and
Mhm.
we fight with our own
Yes,
energies,
we
right?
fight because we like to be, like on the top of control, of everything. Yes, yes.
Right.
This is where
But
I stop
really,
myself
when
too. I say, you're not in control right now. Okay, you just have
you
to accept it.
you're definitely in control of understanding that this is your energy that your daughter is holding, and it's no longer serving you. And right now it's destroying you. That's why you were looking who should from the closed ones hold it. And of course, she is the most suitable person to hold it because she has some guilt too. It's usually like that. If she wouldn't have that guilt in her, she would not be able to pin it and hold it for you. But right now,
Mhm.
she's serving you, and she's
Mhm.
serving you to meet yourself and to
Mhm.
decide whether you want this energy to be inside your heart and soul and being, or you set it free. You're in charge,
Mhm.
and see what happens. We have a month. We want to hear the continuation of the story
Okay. God
next
willing,
month,
it will
and you
be
let us,
more positive. I hope so.
God willing.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It was beautiful to see you.
Yeah,
Beautiful
it's
to
so nice
connect.
to see you. Thank you for your classes. Sorry, I was on holidays. I was in Toronto. I was with my mom, and I cherished every moment that I stay with my mom, and I wasn't.
Hi, could I ask a question?
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hi.
Miriam.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Hi. I was wondering if somebody's
Please
diagnosed,
introduce yourself, my dear.
honey, if
Honey. Okay.
I was diagnosed with a very, very dangerous diagnosis, something we all know when we get that MRI and it has black pictures and the doctor tells you specifically what it's all about. And we're trying to, buff ourselves with the Muna, and we were raised in a very well Hasidus that we have all the Muna tips yet. Um, Knowing it and taking it from your knowledge to your heart, I find very challenging. And if you can help me, like I'm harsh on myself. Maybe I don't have enough amuna, that I'm loaded with fear, like what's coming and how long and how and what how and all this, and it's the fear. I'm tortured by fear, and the fear is running after me. And then I'm saying, oh well, then you don't have the right amuna. Had you right the amuna, Hashem is larger than doctors. Hashem can do everything, and this is like fighting in me. When statistically we know that this diagnosis is a very dirty diagnosis, we know enough about it, yet Hashem is bigger than all of it, and the fear is being tortured. How do I conquer it and get it? Did I explain myself well?
Yes. Thank you so much for being open and honest. We'll take this question last for everyone. We will continue maybe in a month if there will be a demand and you would want to continue. But I'm sorry to hear it. Number one, definitely. I totally hear you because I just now went through the whole. If you could mute yourself, whoever is there with the background noise. I just want you to maybe do this little exercise. Just say, there is a human part of you that is really petrified and scared of death. Really, really. And it's programmed like that because if we wouldn't be scared of death, we wouldn't stay in this world for a minute. We would go quickly out from here and would create some sort of a kind of plan for us to quickly take off from this world. This world is really rough for more refined parts of us. And in order for us to kind of stay put, there is a program in us to fear death, right? But from the soul perspective, there is no death. It's all an illusion that we pursue here, that we are born alive, and we have kind of inner conflict, understanding that without the soul, the body and the person is really not alive. It's constantly not alive. Every moment that we are here, without that conscious part of you, without the soul part of you, that body is not alive. That is the definition of the body and the persona. Persona is a bunch of programs. It's like a computer, right? That has a lot of settings and a lot of programs. Be a mother, be a daughter, be this, be that, be a woman, be this, be a good person, be a good neighbor. And we have like all these programs in us, and that is our person. And then there is our body, physical, actual body. And those two compared to soul is absolutely nothing. It's just no life there, no life force. And we live in this illusion that me as a person, me as this body, we identify ourselves as this body and this person. I just finished writing a book. It's already being edited, and it's all about that topic because I just lived through that experience. And I'm expressing there. Once it's ready and it's out, I'm definitely going to post it here so everyone could purchase and buy, etc., and enjoy. So you have to first understand and identify my body is really not alive even today. And when the time comes, my body wants to be left here in this world and be part of this world and be dissected into elements. My body wants that. It doesn't want more than that. My soul is conflicted because I'm constantly saying there is death in the world, and even after 120, there is death in the world. I'm not about death. The soul is like screaming, stop talking about death. Stop thinking that you're going to die. I'm never going to die. So there's like two voices constantly bombarding us. One says, what are you talking about? There is no death. And another one says, I'm actually dead now. There is nothing but dead material in me, right? So just first see it like that. That would open up your consciousness to the whole concept of how this whole cycle evolves. What is this all about? And those mahlas and those sicknesses are invitation for us to kind of open that window and to like pursue seeing it as a complete cycle. This is how God wants it to develop, to come into reality, to play its game, and when the time comes, to gradually shut the story of that persona of this reincarnation, and to return the soul where it's supposed to go, and to honor the body part, and person part is just a computer. It just gets deprogrammed and it doesn't really go anywhere, right? I just want you to be
Yeah,
able
but
to
I have a
pursue it.
question. Like, there are two fears in me: the fear of pain and of dying in the Gashmizdika type of a life,
Yes.
and yet the fear, oh, if it's time to go in the other world, I can't fix anything anymore. And what do I have to fix here as long as I'm still here? And that pressure and that homework, that what do I have to correct before we go to the next
Beautiful. So,
world?
so let's just
There's
take one
two
step.
kinds of fears.
Right. So the pain and death has nothing to do with each other. We glue it together and it becomes all connected. And you could just, in your minds, say, there could be death without pain. And there could be a lot of pain without death. People would be a lot of emotional pain, physical pain, but they're not dying or about to die. They just live in that pain. And there are a lot of people that could prove it to you and show it to you that they were born, let's say, uncomfortable with their body or some blemishes in their body. So separate those two things, death and pain, because they are somehow are connected, and also suffering and death, right? Separate. Say a person could die without suffering, or a person could live with a lot of suffering, and death and suffering has nothing to do with each other. Death is just like a completion of a cycle, just like a life merges in, and life did what it needs to do, and life needs to conclude and go home and see what's next, right? So for that, God gave death. It's actually a gift. Like, could you imagine if somebody tells you you're gonna live 9,000 years? You're like, wait a minute, I don't know if I want that. You need to kind of reboot, start fresh, recollect. We get exhausted here. Even within like 80 years, we get exhausted. So the soul wants to go back, breathe in and out, and reincarnate again. So see the beauty in that process. Like, open your heart and say, God, with all his love, would not create something that is so bizarre and so conflicted and so worrisome. Like, why am I pursuing it in such a like worrisome way? Like, it really weighs me down. So separate pain from that, separate suffering from that, separate this, like, so to speak, unfinished something in this life cycle from death. If the death comes, that means you finished what you needed. Whatever your soul planned to accomplish, it will 100% finish accomplishing. Some might pursue, it could have done this and that and the third and the tenth, but when we go upstairs, we know exactly that's the segment we needed to accomplish for this reincarnation. And our body and our person and our midas were given specifically for this mission. Our mind could run ahead of us and could say, oh, there's a lot of other stuff, and we could have done this better and that, and we didn't do this, and this should have been done, and blah, blah, blah. No. And a higher consciousness, we see and we know there's a certain cut out time, and we're honoring this specific time. And we're grateful for this opportunity, for this experience. Just like make peace. And it has nothing to do with letting go or like agreeing in a very negative way and like, okay, fine, if I need to go. Any one of us who is listening, we don't know when the day is coming. It could be tomorrow, whether we have the sickness or not. It could happen any day. And we kind of know it could happen any day. And we are prepared that if it happens, that means that's it. That's what needed to be accomplished. And this is Emuna. To me, this is Emuna. If you pursue it in a way that I honor what God decided I need for this reincarnation, and He has the key for life and death, He's in charge. Not even a malach is in charge. He assigns a malach to go and take or give, right? Life or take away the life. So my complete emuna is that whenever it happens, that is the right time.
Yeah, but what should I take upon myself? Sometimes I'm thinking and I don't find the answer of completing my mission. Something more that I should deserve to.
So you firstly accept that whatever that if you woke up today and you're gonna wake up tomorrow, just in the morning say, God, I'm so grateful for today's day. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to serve you. And this is it. We don't know what's supposed to happen. Like, this is partially being humble. Like Emuna and Betochen is really supposed to humble us. When we assume we know, and we assume we could outsmart his system, and we could take something on upon ourselves to prolong it First, I want you to stop and just say, I agree with whatever you decide. My life belongs to you. You in charge. I give my life over to you. If you woke me up this morning and you decide to give me another day, I'm so thankful. But it belongs to you. You're in charge. You know when to press the buttons. And then you are not in charge anymore. It's much better to give it over to him and make him in charge of your life. Does that make
But then
sense?
when there's decision making, this doctor, this kind of treatment, that kind of treatment, and I know it's all, Hashem has it all planned out, but in the surface it looks like I have to make decisions, and
So take a
there's the
minute.
natural way, there's the medical way.
Take a minute before you make a decision and say, God, I want you to lead me. I know I have to make decisions now. I want you to be part of this whole decision making. I assign you to make those decisions. First, for a minute, just switch that me making decision and you giving it over to him. Just feel it in your heart that you're giving it over to him. And then go. And then go and listen and so to speak, make decision from your very grounded mental kind of state of understanding. This makes sense, this doesn't make sense. You inquire, you speak to other professionals, you make that point, but preface it with, I'm giving it over to you. I give you my life. It belongs to you. It's not mine. And when you kind of already surrender and you already gave yourself over, you don't really honestly worry if there is going to be a mistake and you should have and you could have and you didn't. Like you don't make that anymore. You'll feel different. You'll feel more calm, more centered, more present. It's hard to explain it mentally. But when you do that exercise, truly feel that you're giving your life over to God. You're not in charge. You could just say those words. You could say, God, for many reincarnations, I felt I am running my life. I want to honor this reincarnation by in the body, in the person, giving my life over to you. Maybe it's for the first time in all my reincarnations I'm doing that. But I want to feel how it feels in the body, in a person. And to me, this is Amuna, this is Betochen. You will talk differently, you will walk differently, you will pursue differently. It's a different energy flows through you when you already gave yourself over to God. You know, there are some
Again, I
Hasidim.
know it all, and when it comes to it, the worry and the fear overwhelms it. I talk to Hashem and I beg him and I talk to him, you're in charge. But then again, the natural instinct topples over, you know.
Yeah, so you say to it, I hear you. You have all the rights to worry. Yeah, it's a program. We programmed like that to worry, to fear of the day of dying. It doesn't matter how old. You could be 99, you could still have the fear of dying. And it's programmed in us, and our body and our person is really petrified. And our soul is more petrified because it's constantly hearing that conviction that we are here not forever. Every single one of us will eventually die. And the soul is like, wait. So you address it and say, I hear that you, soul, is being petrified because you're forever living and you don't want that to be pinned on you. And I hear you, people, person, and a body in me that is like so conflicted with all that, and you're worried and you're concerned, etc. I hear you all. Just that. Just say, I hear, I show up in front of your worries. You don't get swollen by it. You don't get taken by it. You just hear it. It's like a child who is worried about his candy and his scooter or his toy that will never be bought and it will be finished. You hold that space and you let the child worry, but you are not worried together with the child, right? So the same thing, you kind of hold that space. I hear there's a less conscious part of me that is all worried. And I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm hugging it, I am showing up for it. I hear you, I understand. You have all the rights to worry, but I'm here to give you a hug. And you will forever worry. You programmed like that. It's meant to worry, right? So all you could do is just to hug and embrace and show up and hear.
I hear you.
Does that
Thank
make
you so
sense?
much. It makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of homework. I'm
Yes.
trying, but it's yes, you know,
Yes.
trying, but
Refuah
again,
Shleima,
it's
my dear. All the
overwhelming.
best to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
All
appreciate it.
right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It was really beautiful. And we will continue. Please write your comeback stories, your comments, your realizations, your insights. And if you want to share with anything, if you want this to continue, also please write. For now, it's just once a month, but maybe we'll do it twice a month.